Hello, hello. Checking. Everything sounds good? We're gonna show everybody. This is episode number 1. And topic today is gonna be fake artists. We're gonna tackle this now for a big one. Alright, let's go. Okay, let's talk about art. Big topic, but first let me introduce myself. My name is Wee, and I am an artist. Sounds like a big title, but I play music for a living. And tonight, I want to talk about art. Seeing this topic being a little bit hot on social media nowadays, and I want to give my opinion on this. So based on what everybody knows, is art is something beautiful, pretty. Music, painting, film, movie, many other things considered art. Even working day to day is art. But to be a little bit more context, we're gonna use Google and looking up a definition for art. So based from Google, art is the expression or application of human creative skill or imagination. Basically means you bring something from your brain that nobody understand out into the world based on the craft that you pick. And an artist is a person who produce painting or drawings or creative arts as a professional or hobby. This is where it's become confusing is if you make art, even one piece or two piece, are you considered an artist? Because artist, based on definition, is you making art, either a hobby or professional. This is kind of weird to me because nowadays everybody try to be an artist somehow in some form because artists understand to them as being famous, being rich, being something powerful is artist, right? Artist is something that really crazy, have a lot of impact. So does the number piece of art that you create will determine you become an artist? This is kind of weird because one piece can make you an artist and 100 piece can make you an artist. You guys let me know in the comments. Like, this is weird. We can interact on the chat. Remember that, everybody. You can ask me question and not just looking at the video straight like watching YouTube video. So for myself, when I'm doing art, I'm really put a good amount of thinking in what am I creating, because the market right now is crazy. So let's talking about some good traits and some bad traits of an artist. Let's see. Based on a normal people day to day basic, people think that artist is the one that look super pretty. You know what I'm saying? They are beautiful. They are the chosen one and they are super talented. So they are artists. So does it have to be like that? Because look at me. I'm not a handsome like Hollywood actor, but I'm still an artist in a good form. So am I talented? I don't know. I work my ass off to play an instrument. So it's not really the chosen one either. Because I'm not born in a family that play music from the root. So it's none of those element on the top. So everybody can be an artist, but there's some rules on top of what an artist should know and should be, right? So for social class and origin, many people said art is something that really fancy, and to me, it does. Art is a high-end job to me. Being an artist is a high-end job because we don't need to be exactly sadness is we don't need art to live, but alive without art is really sad. Just like cooking a really good dish but forgot to add salt, right? So art is something that in the middle of necessity and unnecessity, something that really precious, something that we have a really big gratitude for it, because not everybody have a chance to actually see, watch, or hear art. Let's see. Many people said your physical, your body, your tone, your voice can be a barrier to become an artist. Let's say like this. If I have a really heavy accent, and actually I do because I born in Asia and I moved to America not long ago, and I learned how to speak English. I learned how to sing and play an instrument in the language that I'm not born with. It can be a barrier, but it's not a big deal because the goal of speaking a language is to communicate a message. You're trying to let the other person know what you're trying to say. But some language have a really heavy accent and some financial barriers that stop them to learn another language, the language that is popular around the world. So for an example, right now around the world we have three or two main category of music, and the language that in that category is popularized really fast is English, Chinese, and Spanish. Those are three that on the top of the market right now. And does it mean that people who doesn't speak that language cannot be an artist? It's kind of funny because there's not a lot of big market or places for movie or music or any kind of art that involving speaking, that not use those top three language to be consumer understanding, like people watching a movie and understand what you're saying. Let's see, we got Lemonade. Get some question. What do you think about the starving artist stereotype? Okay. So starving artist, this is kind of weird to me, is artist is, if you're looking at closely, is artist is really competitive. But at the same time, art is meant for everybody. And this is what I understand for myself is art is for everybody, but not everybody can become an artist because the high rate of competitive, right? Everybody think that you just making art, post on YouTube, and somehow you're gonna get famous, and that really confusing because everybody trying to give a shot, but not understand the art is. That's why I'm really want to bring up the today topic about fake artists is an artist who doesn't understand what artist is and what is the thing that you need to know and learn to become an artist. You can be hungry and making art, but I don't think that is sustainable. To be like long term doing the thing that you love, like everybody say, make your dream come true, doing the art, you need to know more than just expressing your feeling or your imagination out of your brain. For some people, if you come from a family or a tradition that really not care about art, is a really big topic too. For an example, in Asia, many other people believe that, especially Chinese kids, we have like a traditional term is like if you're Asian, you either know how to play the piano or you play the violin. That is really big stereotype of Asian kid who grown up not born in the middle class. I'm not in the middle class. I'm in the working class, so I don't have a chance to learn music from a really young age. But that is a stereotype. Another thing is for those country like that, the art not being valued at the right aspect and the right level. Because in Asia, many countries are developing countries, so the amount of time to spend and actually sit down and enjoy art is not a lot. Like here in America, you can see a lot of Coachella, you can see a lot of festival, people come and see. You can have live music at the bar every night, depends on where you live in the city you come from. But in Asia, we do have, but it's not in a large spectrum like that. It's kind of really minimal, like it's really rare, excuse me, to have a show or a musical event. And usually, when you have a show like that, it's more about commercial, really big commercial coming in to have a show like that, not an individual artist that can put on a show for themselves. And another last barrier I think is important to talking about too is, do you have to have a really good training or have a personal coach at a really young age to become an artist? It can be an advantage if you have a condition that provide you to go to a teacher at a very young age to try it out, some kind of form in art, for example drawing, painting, dancing, music, or anything else that relate in art aspect. But it does not require to have a really young, like at a very young age, that you have a teacher to teach you. That is not necessary. To me, back then when I growing up, the art come to me from the live to live basic. I saw the kids singing in the street. I go to middle school, we gather together, we bang on a little bucket to make it like a drum sound, and we sing over it. We're making sound that nobody knows. We're making sound that are original, and we sing about life, singing about bad things that happen, good things that happen, girlfriend and growing up as a rebel kid, stuff like that. But you doesn't have to have a really good training at a young age. But it does benefit to have a training so you can understand deeply about the art that you're going to do. And that is the topic that we're going to talk in a minute. Whew, we need to rehydrate real quick. Okay, Lemonade. I know this man, but I'm not going to say his real name. I just call him Lemonade. So Lemonade have a question is, what do you think about many artists suffering from mental illness and how it has affected their creativity? So for this one, it's kind of funny because this is how I make a funny joke for artists. Is artists are not normal people. We are a little bit different in the way that our brain wiring somehow. We're a little bit flying compared to an average person out there. You know what I'm saying? We have a little bit more colorful on the palette. But that palette, that color, that pigment does need to have some kind of stimulation to actually become a color in that person. For an example, to me, the environment is one of the really important reason for a person to give them to become an artist. For an example, if I'm not growing up in a city like Saigon, where things is really complex, and I live in a neighborhood where most of them are working man and middle class, I would not become the person who I am. Because to me, the mental illness is something that really important for an artist, because it can be happy or it can be sad, or it can be something in the middle or super extreme. In the Western world, we do appreciate about mental health. We care about it. We have research about it. We have study about it. But in Asia, we don't have. So like people, when they go crazy, people call them mental illness. instead of that guy is a genius in the form of art when he or she think different compared to an average person. So to your question, I think the mental illness, I don't think that is illness, but mental suffer for emotion, like thing that they going through in their life affect their creativity. Yes, because to me, artists, we are not creating. This is my understanding of art. Is artist is like a mirror. We don't creating things that we don't see. So like for an artist, if you pay attention, the one that have a lot of experience with love, happiness, being surrounded with good people, they would tend to write a lot of song about happiness, things that make life positive. And for people who come from the bottom, from the gutter, from the ghetto, from places not a lot of money, where things that you have to survive every day, they would tend to create the art that reflecting where they're coming from, what they've been through, what they've been suffering. Really straight up. So like you cannot expect somebody just being in the hood, being chasing, get beat up every day and write something good because they never feel it. It's really hard for some people never feel something and be truly real about the emotion that they try to create. You cannot create something that out of thin air but you never feel it. The emotion is requiring experiencing. You have to experience by yourself. So you actually know how it feels. So you can put it out from your brain into a piece of paper and create the art out of it. Yeah. So that is some basic question, general question for what art is. Let's talking about good art and bad arts. Right now, I think the market is over flooded with contents and art in any forms. Here we're gonna have some statistic that we're gonna bring it up for songs. As I am a musician, that's what I'm care about a lot. Is right now based on statistic on the internet, we have about 24 to 60,000 songs are uploaded to digital musical app every day. 60,000, you hear me? 60,000, which means more than 100 playlists that you have to listen in a day to actually listen to all of them. Like, not even enough. Like, your ear will get tired after 3 or 4 playlists, but it's more than 100 playlists a day of song. That is crazy. And for the total amount of song in the world, we have about 97 million song in the world. Like who can actually listen to all of those songs in their life? That is crazy amount of song. Next up we're gonna have painting. I thought paintings is not much, but when it's come to the number, it's enormous. We have 15 billion paintings in the world right now available in the world. We're gonna need more than 100 gallery like in France and Paris have right now to actually see all those art put in order that really tight together. I don't know we can have enough space in a museum to put all those art up or not, but that is a large number. And for movies, we have more than 500,000 movies in the world. And for an average, a movie is 1 hour and a half to 2 hours. It's gonna cost you more than your entire life just trying to watch half of them. That's crazy. That's a lot of hours and a lot of time and a lot of content. But how many of those are actually good art? I just curious because like everybody pushing out so much and the market is so saturated. So how many of them are actually good? I'm really curious. to talk about competition aspect, there's people have a little bit advantage in marketing, so their product or their creation of art being promoted really well on the market. But does it mean that their art is good? I don't think so. Because there's a bunch of songs right now on Billboard, on musical app playlists that I cannot and I'm not proud to bring that song and show for some of my people that I know and tell them about those music that I'm proud to represent for. There are good songs too, but those songs somehow not get promoted really well and they being kicked out because in the flow of playlists and the amount of song that coming into those distribution company every day. So being a market like that, myself as an artist, I have some tips for you. Doesn't matter what kind of art form you into, music, movie, many other things. There's a couple of things, a little point that you should know to make you enjoy that art a little bit better. The first one is to trying to gain the knowledge from what you are watching and hearing. Trying to understand the art, trying to understand the movie, or understanding a song. Right now, I saw so many people listen songs so differently. Back then in the history, when you come to a theater or you come to a concert hall, you listen to music, you pay attention from A to Z. Excuse me. When you're watching the show. And right now, you put music on everywhere and not really pay attention to it. So the music automatically become like a background noise instead of something that you should pay attention to or listening to. Or movies. Like right now, people put out movie like drama show, TV show, things that not really have a really high quality content to it. I think I really love old movie, even though there's some bad things, some good things, but old movie have a really good story structure. And to me, watching a movie is like reading an article where you actually thinking about it, make some logic question, and trying to understand what is the author trying to saying in that article or in a movie form. What is the story trying to say? And I don't see that in many modern form. A lot of modern film right now is more about the effect, the thing that's sparkling, but not about the actual story, which is pretty sad. And song too. Song right now have really good beat, but they have a really poor lyrics. Like it's fun to dance around with those beats, but I would not. That would not be the song that will be in my playlist that I will listen to over and over again. That actually means something to me because those song actually doesn't have any meaning. It's just meant for be danced around and that's it and move on. It doesn't be there to last. It's kind of sad. Because that way of thinking and a production like that really bring down the value of art. Like art right now, it's just being flooded with really poor construct, piece, and form. Like everything that we have known that art is good at, modern art is kind of lacking those stuff a lot. And artists themselves have a really low education on the art that they're doing. There are musicians out there right now cannot performing their art by themselves. Like right now, I know because the place where those music represent is not like back then when you're being on stage and be by yourself and you show who you are. Right now, your music is in the bar, in large stadium where you have, backup singer and you have a backing track you turn it on and you sing along to it. Like that is okay, but it's not really the thing that's meant to be. Because if you are an artist and you are the creator of that piece of product or that piece of art, you should have the ability to do it again live even better than the recording, right? Like that is a thing that I'm expect when I'm come to a live show to see. I don't want to see just a guy going up there and just without any sound and the sound just come from a recording in the speaker. That is crazy to me. It's really sad to see that. And many people, I know that because the flow of the industry, people trying to make money but not really worry about the art. Many artists coming up really fast and coming down because of those reasons. But for me, when I'm start doing art, I'm thinking about I'm gonna do this for a while. I'm gonna be here for at least a couple decades. So I really pay attention on what I'm doing and actually create something that meaningful. Because if I keep doing the thing that not meaningful, I think as an artist like me, I should quit my job and stop doing it because we have more than enough song and content on the internet right now available for you in those purposes. If you have to start to create something, I think an artist should need to put in the work. They need to build themselves up. They need to have an education on what they're doing. They need to upgrade their craft. They have to know about history and they have to experience life more. Like I said, an artist is a mirror. If an artist not experiencing a lot, their content and their art will be really poor in color. They don't have a variety of things to describe in the craft that they're doing. We got Simon Joe in the chat. We got Simon Joe in the chat. Okay. Yeah, the market is based on Simon's question is the competition between marketing and actually the value of the art. Yes, it's a really big deal on the market right now is some people have the money and have the resources to hire firms, marketing firms to marketing and advertising their art to many people as possible. That is an advantage. But for people like us, when we start at the bottom, we have to find that way a little bit more organic. I don't say that have big firm supporting you is bad, but to me, a real artist should have this ability. Really important to me is have the ability to connect with your audience. Like I am right now on the screen talking to you, but I am a musician. If you see me outside, I have the ability to play my music for you through an instrument. And that is actually the proof that you show people that you are an artist. So for an example, if you say you are a painter and some people purchased your painting and they saw you and they want to say, how do you create that piece of art? Can you show me some way you draw it, some of the technique that you use that create a signature on that piece of art? If you have the ability and show them live, you are actually proving that you are an authentic artist. You can connect with them straight up. But there's many people cannot do that nowadays. That is weird. And like you listen to song right now, there's a lot of song have heavy auto tune on it. And I really understand that they're trying to make a record sound good, but at the same time, to me, so perfect is actually not good. Like too much of anything is not good. And to me, I really want to hear that rough edges, that a little bit of human voice into it, because you have to train really well to actually sing good. But many times you're not actually sing on the pitch. But that's the thing that make you become human, right? So for trying to compete in this market, learn how to marketing yourself on the internet, but at the same time, you should hone in your craft to actually presenting yourself physically, because that is still the main way that artists are known for, is the real world. Like the audience still want to see your product, right? They still want to see your performance. They still want to see your creation. So don't forget on that one. Honing your craft, but you have to create your opportunity for yourself where you can have the people come and actually see you. And the internet is one of those places. So Lemon have a question about what do you think about artists influencing other artists in your own experience? Okay. Yeah. So recently I'm listening to a band. I think that I talked to you before, but for people on the stream to know is there's a band called Arctic Monkeys that I listened for the past 3 weeks that I really like their old album and into the recent album. The reason why is those guys make a really fine record and they sound really good. But after that, after I listen to all their album on Spotify, I'm going YouTube and searching up live performance acoustic by them. And the guy and the band actually doing exact same thing. They can sing exactly the same the way that they sing in a record, and actually sound much better too. Like that is the real craft right there, and that really inspiring me is they make a really good record, which means they have good technique and good producer that help them create a fine piece of album, piece of music, master it, make it sound really good. But at the same time, they can do it live in real time and sound much better than that. And that is really inspiring me. So like for artists, upcoming artists like me and younger generation after me, I think I have the responsibility to be a good representative for art, to become a good one in a real way. Like I don't want to see another artist coming up, another person trying to be an artist and trying to go on the internet and start searching up what is an artist is, and they're searching up who is the most famous right now, and they saw me doing mediocre stuff, poor quality, because they would start to think, oh, that is the thing that you I should do to become famous and become good and become rich or anything like that. Like that is not a thing that I want people to know about art. Art is really sophisticated. Art is expensive. Art is something that really fancy. And to be able to understand that, an artist have to have a really deep and wide skill set on what they are doing. A poor trained and poor educated artist will not make a great art for real. I'll be guarantee you that. Their art may be surrounding just a couple topic and that's it. After that, they don't know what to say or just copy exact same thing that other people do and cannot create anything original. Need to rehydrate once in a while. So coming up with the next one, I think we need to address this is, so what is the difference between a normal person and an artist. This is kind of interesting, right? Because the definition for artist is so wide. People say art is in everything. So how the hell are you gonna define art? It's kind of funny, right? Like how you gonna do it? If it's in everything and if everybody can do it, they are artists, right? Yes, but no. Because to me, the difference between an artist and a normal person is the skill set. There's something that a professional know, but a normal person don't know. Just like you go to a doctor, you believe in them because they have a really deep understanding of their craft. To actually, you give them yourself to them so they can do their job. Exact same way to artists. If you call yourself an artist, you should know your craft really, really well. And you master it and you actually can do it in real time. That is one. And second is about education, about history and the future of the craft that they are in. For an example, if you're doing music like me, you should have an understanding of how the flow of the creation of the music, where the original, the origin is coming from, who's created, how it's come from, like how does people invented music somehow in some way, right? And you have to understand the upcoming market and what is the technology coming up going to help creating the music. For either one, if you don't know about the past, it's okay. But you will have a little bit confusion when you start to learn the new things because you don't know how people create this and how do you end up here. Start to have this microphone. Like, I don't know how this. So it's kind of connecting point, everything connect together. So it's really important for an artist to know the origin of what and how and why and where their craft coming from. And the next one I think is really important too is I saw many people right now because the way that they getting paid on digital application, they tend to make music and art based on how they get paid instead of creating art that represent them well. For example, many people right now creating playlists, background music, smooth jazz, lo-fi jazz on Spotify and just make a list like that, instrumental, but not actually mean anything. And it's just a list like that, and they just hope that it going to get as much as view as possible because it get paid on the second, right? But like that, it just make the art go down because you increasing the supply, but you do not actually increasing the quality of the art. It's kind of debating, but to me, I really trying to create a smallest quantity that I ever can, but as high in quality as I can. Because if you create one good song or a list of good song, a collection of song like from 6 to 10, and they are really good, really refined, and you can use them and travel the world and play, like I feel like I'm really proud about that because it's actually means something to the artist and it's represent who they are. That is some intense debating, isn't it? So we're gonna come with the last two questions for tonight talk show is, so what is the purpose of making art, right? Because everybody can make it, And some people trying to make it for fun, some people trying to make it for money, and some people just trying to make it for self-satisfaction or even public recognition. So what's the purpose of it? It can be a mix of everything, right? Everybody trying to present pretty things that impressive so they can create some connection. To me, art is an expression of one individual, but that expression mean to connect to other people, right? We don't just create art and put it in our room. We want to create it and then we bring it to the world. We're going to represent it somehow. We're going to bring it and we're going to show the people. So to me, everybody should understanding and study about art and to actually enjoy it a little bit better. So your movie, the movie that you're going to watch is not just about the actor or the actress in the movie that look good, but it's more about how they create their emotion and how they acting as a character in that movie and how is the story connect to those character. If you understand a little bit deeper in the detail, you will appreciate more every time you enjoy a piece of art. For example, in music, more than just a good sounding, you can start to understand what is the artist trying to say in those songs. How is the color? How is it changing? If you're into music theory, you can say, oh, how is the color of sadness? What does it mean? How does it create happiness? What is the feeling in the music? What is the sound that is make that is feel happy? What is the sound that makes feel sad? Right? And for many other forms, for in painting, if you know about the history of art in painting, you say, oh, they use a different pigment, a different brush technique, and many other things to create a form and a picture like that. Is make you enjoy the content even more than just looking at a super supreme creation of human. That's already really good by itself. But your knowledge will enhance the ability to explore that picture in your imagination. Okay, we got a question. What do you think about artists gatekeeping art from others who may not be very serious but still want to enjoy it? Hmm. Okay. Let me thinking about this. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah. It's not bad at all to be an artist gatekeeping art. Let's see. I'm trying to understand this form right here. How am I going to say this to you? Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So, like I said, in the history of art, there's amateur and professional player, right? Or creator. So for people who just want to make art for fun, we should not give them the title as artists because there is a conflict definition in me that people use it wrong for the title artist so much. Is like if a person just know how to play an instrument, are they considered a musician? Or they have to master it and actually understand the music behind it to actually become a musician. So like if you are just a person who love to create art, fine. You are a human creating art. But that is not consider yourself an artist, right? And you enjoy it, that is the best thing in the world. But if you consider yourself an artist in the professional way, you should know it a little bit more than an average person, and they can have a really high expect on you on the thing that they don't know. Because to surround the topic of today of the fake artist is I want to make it clear right here is artist title is being misused so much right now. Like everybody say themselves is an artist, but they are not. I say it again, they are not. They don't have the thing that an artist have, a real artist have. They just call themselves an artist because they just create something pretty cool that related to art, something that pretty. That's not enough to call yourself an artist. You can say that's my creation of art. That's it. That's fun, but I don't I don't recognize they are artists. Not really. So let's talk about some good character that determine a good artist, right? So right now on the market, there's a lot of people creating art. So here's some tips for you. So next time when you're coming up there to the internet, you can find some good artists that actually means something and actually there's something for you to learn and enjoy from. First one is you should, if you are a little bit nerdy, you can try to understand their choice of art, where they're coming from and how they're growing up and what are they standing for as an artist. Because every artist they have some signature of themselves that define who they are, right? So choose an artist that you really like and then try to have some research about that artist. You can do that nowadays through the internet and try to understand what is he or she standing for, and do you grab the message or not, and do they actually stand for that message in that idea in their art or not, right? That's the first one. Second one is, are they a master of their craft? I'm really highly picky on that one. Is if they say they are a good one, they are creating something, but in the credit there's 10 different people created with them. It's okay to have other people write something with you, but too many is a little bit concerned because more than two chefs in a pot of soup will create a mess instead of a good dish. Second thing is the broad experience about life. Do they going through a lot, even sadness or happiness? Like, are they travel a lot? If they are an extrovert, if they are introvert, are they studying something that people don't like and that's creating issue? Are they reading a lot? Are they consume a lot of content and information to enrich themselves every day on the topic that they are standing for? I really value artists that love to improving themselves every day so they can create better product instead of just talking things that really vulgar, things that not really highly rich in knowledge and information. There's something for you to learn when you enjoy a piece of art. And lastly is humanity, right? They have to have connection with you guys. If even they are a superstar, but if they seeing you and they being a bad actor, they not treat you right, they not saying hi to you in the right way or being a human to you, we have a problem. Like, an artist on stage is an artist doing their job, being on stage performing their craft. But to me, an artist after they're done with the stage, when they're coming down stage, they are human like you. There's nothing different. They should treat you as a human and you should be welcome and should be normal coming up and talk to them, even they are your idol or something like that. They are your superstar, you admire them. Just coming up and talk like a human. Because people right now, when they are become a fan, they're being misunderstood with paparazzi, right? Paparazzi just go crazy, just trying to put the cell phone into your face and trying to snap something out of you and coming home and serious with somebody, post on your Instagram, hey, I take a picture of this famous, artist today, this influencer today. Like, I think that's not really needed to connect with an artist. If you want to connect with an artist, just coming up and talk to them like a human, being nice and coming up and talk. If that apply to me, I would do exact same thing to you. I would be happy and welcome and talk to you, say hi, shake hand, anything. And then after that, if you want a selfie, just asking them, say, hey, can you take a selfie? And I will more welcome than that. Don't just come and try to, put the cell phone in somebody's face and say, I want that picture from you. It's a little bit rude. You know what I'm saying? Artist is still a human. Treat people the way that you want people to treat you. That's the thing that I want to say for artists or anybody that become influenced or become famous, right? That is the humanity part. All right, thank you, Lemonade. Join in. See you later, man. All right. I think that's gonna be the last thing for tonight talk show. We're gonna talking about the next topic next week. I'm gonna see you guys on Saturday at 7:30 and Sunday at 7:32. We're gonna have two different topics on every day. Saturday gonna be the time where I am talking about quote and poetry that I wrote on my social media, and I have the session on Saturday so I can explain that to you, and we're gonna talking about it. And on Sunday we're gonna discuss about a general topic like today we have. So